Yo, mixed by Gabriel. I just did a mix. I just want to walk you guys through just like my thought process through this mix. And just yeah, if you guys want to comment, have questions, concerns about the thought process of a mixing engineer and like why we do certain things, this will kind of key you into the thought process. But essentially, I always start with the beat and kind of gauge what's going on essentially, and we just kind of take it from there. So let's just start with the beat. So my first thought was it was way too loud. As you can see, I turned it down by -6 dB. The bass, I mean, you can look at the waveform, but it's actually pretty balanced out for a beat, all things considered, just to be honest. I mean, some beats will have, like, this is the bass, right? Some beats, this whole bass will be so, like, the waveform will be so huge in this part, and everything else is just very small, and that tells you that the bass is way above in the mix, everything else in the beat. So this is actually a pretty balanced beat. So my first thought was like, all right, let me turn it down and level it out. I typically am shooting for on the level I'm shooting for, like the stylistic of the record. I knew that I'm pushing pretty loud on this, so I went -14 just with the beat in. Showing y'all, but don't. Essentially, I got it around to like 15, etc. But and then from that point, I basically added a multi-band. But with the multi-band, I can I can get a little bit more out of this beat. So I expanded the low end. Yeah, so after that, I basically just bring in his main vocal and just kind of like, I have a set EQ for him, so I just kind of put his set EQ on, then adjust it a little bit.
Nigga, I pay my tithes like I'm going to church. Fuck, I look like talking down my price, you know my worth. What I look like giving up my rights to my work. I've been on that turf, feet covered in dirt.
So yeah, so basically I just took out some resonant frequencies, kind of balanced out a little bit of it. He has a lot of low mids, so I like to control that before I add it back in and just kind of level it up. But it's a pretty straightforward chain, honestly. You'll notice that a lot of the things I do is in very minute movements, so it's like this is just basically controlling some of his high end and kind of like a de-esser in a sense.
Nigga, I pay my tithes.
So after that, we got the distressor, doing a 4-to-1. I'm adding a little bit back just for level's sake. He is kind of low in his recording, which is fine. Yeah, these are usually my settings I like.
Nigga, I pay my tithes like I'm going to church.
You can actually see that he is getting actually compressed almost 6 dB each time. So actually bringing back 5.5 dBs actually makes sense if you think about it. So after that, I really am liking the Fairchild as a second compressor because it's tube based and it's very like musical. So it just kind of like is very fucking smooth. Like you really cannot hear this shit, but it really catches some of those extra like moments that he needs some control. So
nigga, I pay my tithes like I'm going to church.
yeah, I love the Fairchild. Super musical. From there, I just randomly bring this in. And like, this is just a prime example. Regardless of where you are in your level, you can sound like regardless of where you're at, you can do a preset and use it and it still sound good regardless if you're a professional or not. So that's what I did here. I just like the preset. So it's just compressing a bit more. Then after that, API adding a shelf at 15K just to add that brightness, that air on his voice. From there, Oxford EQ. This is a new EQ I'm using now. I'm trying to replace the Fab Filter Q3 in some capacity in my like chain just to have fun. I like to change things up. That's how you like don't get comfortable or set in one way. So I just started using this literally yesterday. So I'm just boosting some frequencies I like. I love how this looks, like the UI. From there, massive passive. This is where I'm bringing that low mids of it I was talking about. Like, this is where his weight is. You'll hear it like...
Nigga, I pay my tithes like I'm going to church. Fuck, I look like talking down my price, you know my worth.
One of my favorite EQs ever is the massive passive, just in general. The tubes, and this emulation is amazing. So check it out. From that, multi-band controlling his high end, but also giving him back some more low mids.
Nigga, I pay my tithes like I'm going to church.
At the end of the day, all you're trying to do is just balance it out, make it sound clean, make it sound concise, make it sound like nothing pops out anywhere, like the vocals in the song, the bass is there, everything's there, right? Then another soothe, smooth things out. Last thing I like to do on my vocals is have a 2-bus compressor that you would put on a mix bus just to glue the vocal in as the last thing. Like after you're adding all these frequencies and all this level, you want to just bring it back into the song a little bit. So I'm going to play like some of the other things I did that was like really cool here and there is just like do like delay throws. But on these, instead of like throwing them to ascend, I made a whole new track just to have fun with it and see what I came up with. But these are pretty cool. And what I did was I put a doubler after delay and took out the mono signal. So it's just on the left and right. There's no one right here. And then this one's super cool. I basically automated the delay time. And what that does is do this cool thing with pitch. Watch this. I'll show you with the Valhalla. Look, you'll see right here. Super dope. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially it besides, you know, the mastering chain, but I'm not even going to go into that right now. This is the basic mix with everything in it.
Like I'm going to church. Fuck, I look like talking down my price, you know my worth. What I look like giving up my rights to my work. I've been on that turf, feet covered in dirt. Something about that age when you hit 30 ain't no perks. Something about my mental, I'm down bad, but I've been worse.
You know the vibes, Mixed by Gabriel. Tap in, subscribe. I love you all. Drop comments. Let me know what type of content you guys want so I can get more specific shit going on for you. I love you all. I'm going to keep on uploading. You know the vibes. The short's going crazy too. Love you. Peace.